Hello and welcome to another video. Today's video is about pinhole photography and more specifically 5x4 pinhole photography. I've been sent this product by Jaggle and I've been asked if I can have a look at it and give them my opinion on it. Basically it's a lens board. Enclosed in the lens board is a pinhole, and this is designed for a 5x4 camera. The lens board is a Linhof style lens board, so it fits a variety of cameras. Linhof, Intrepid, fits my Chamonix. I believe it also fits the Wister. So there's quite a range of cameras that can use this type of lens board. Part of the lens board, we've got this shutter assembly that contains the pinhole. Now this shutter assembly is something I've not seen before. It's got a sliding mechanism which reveals the pinhole in the center, and we can see the pinhole there. But the shutter mechanism is magnetic, so it's got a very smooth operation. That slider is really smooth, and once it's locked into position, that magnet is going to prevent it from closing on its own, or if it's closed, it's going to prevent it from opening on its own. Never seen this feature before, and it's got a very nice operation. The shutter assembly, I don't know if you can see that, it's made from 3D printing material, and it's fastened to the lens board with these 4 brass studs. Then on the reverse we can see that we've got the 4 brass nuts on the opposite side. We've got the hole in the center which contains the pinhole. Very nice construction, very solid. This, as I say, this is all metal, and that's how we activate and deactivate the pinhole. The pinhole in this one is 0.4 millimeters, and they do a 0.4, 0.5 and a 1 millimeter version. We get this nice chart here which gives us information about the various pinholes and a quick exposure chart. So I'm just reading from this one. The 0.4, which is the one I've got, gives us a focal length of 90 millimeters and an f-stop of 225 with an angle of view of 84.2 degrees. The 0.5 would give us a focal length of 141 millimeters, an increased f-stop of 281, and that would give us an angle of 60 degrees. The 1 millimeter is approximately 562 millimeters focal length with an f-stop of 562 and an angle of 16.5 degrees. And all that information is coming from this chart. In order to attach this to the camera, all we do is we place it in the front, and in my case I just lock it into position. Bearing in mind when using a 5x4 camera that the distance between the front of the pinhole and where the film plane is has to match, in my case, 90 millimeters, because I've got the 0.4 millimeter pinhole. On this particular camera, and I think the same applies for Intrepid, if we look on the front, we've got these studs here which allows us to move the lens front, the front standard. We can position it in any one of these studs to give us a different focal length. Now if you haven't got variable distances like this and it's fixed, some cameras are fixed at one end, all you have to do is you have to adjust the bellows. So we'd increase the bellows until the distance there to the film plane is, in this case, 90 millimeters. And if you've got the 0.5 version, then you'd increase the bellows to match 141. So very easy to use. You can adapt it onto nearly all 5x4 cameras that takes this type of lens board. To use it in the field is very easy. I first started by metering the scene. In this case, I used their chart, and it gave me an exposure time of about 12 seconds. Including reciprocity, we have to include that, and I use the reciprocity app for that. And then all that I had to do was insert the film holder, pull the dark slide out, actuate the shutter or the pinhole on the camera, and then count down for that exposure time. Very easy to use. Is there anything I don't like about this particular product? Well, functionality, I think it's perfect. This is a very smooth operation. I like the magnet. It really helps to keep that in position. Just one thing that I would like to see added to it, and that is some kind of marking on here which tells us which pinhole is mounted onto this lens board. And the reason for that is because they do 3 different sizes. If I'd have bought all 3 or 2 out of the 3, there's no way of knowing at this point what size that pinhole is. I know it comes on the box, but we're not always going to have the box with us. We're more likely to drop this unit into the camera bag, and then once we take it out, we've actually got no indication. Because they've actually imprinted their logo on the front, and that's like, it's not like it might be a transfer, but it's not going to come off. So they've already nailed that, how they can do that. So even if we have it on the back, just some kind of a transfer or an engraving or something like that, just to tell us what size of pinholes on this board. So at the moment, there's no way of knowing. That's the only thing at this point which I can see being an addition to what I've got here. But apart from that, it's a very nice piece of equipment to have if you like doing pinhole photography, or even if you've just got a 5x4 camera and pinhole photography is something that you haven't done but maybe want to have a go at. It's a very inexpensive way of trying it. Yes, I know you can generate your own pinhole with a sewing needle, and I've done that in the past, and I've got some very good results from it. But this particular board, the pinhole is laser etched, so it's going to give us quite precision on the actual pinhole itself with it being laser etched. The ones I've generated in the past have not quite been a good circle, and I've got a slight distortion around the edges. Although I've got some nice pictures from them, I'm interested to see how this one performs. So the one that I took yesterday out in the field, I've developed it and I've scanned it, and at the end of the video I'll just show you the results from yesterday's outing when I was trying this Jaggle pinhole assembly for the 5x4 camera. So there we have it. That's a quick video today. Thank you for watching, and as always, until next time, bye for now.